Hello and welcome to Film Lovers. I'm Sonia Chung. I'll be talking to people who work in the film industry and who are also avid film lovers. And guess what? He's back! Hello, stranger.
They might think you're talking about Arnold Schwarzenegger, but it's not. It's me.
It's Tom.
Tom Jolliffe, the
Tom.
screenwriter.
Yeah, we spoke to you in the first 2 episodes, didn't we? Well, I did.
Yeah, no, happy to be back. Always have a good time.
So what are we gonna do today, Tom? Since you're becoming a bit of a regular.
So I thought maybe today we could look at the top 10 Coen Brothers films.
Ah, good idea. Yeah. I love the Coen Brothers. Why the Coen Brothers? Are they one of your favourite, like, writing, directing, producing duo?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, they're really. I love their style, so they're very quirky.
They're very eclectic as well, aren't they?
Yeah, they've just done a really good range of films. That there's nothing they've done which I haven't, which I've disliked. So everything I've liked, and some of their best films are some of my favourites.
Yeah. Okay then. So shall we start from number 10 and then we'll go down to number 1 being your best favourite Coen Brother film ever. So let's go from number 10. So what's your number 10?
Okay. So number 10 is The Man Who Wasn't There.
Ah, I don't know. Oh, I haven't seen that one. What is that with Joaquin Phoenix?
No, this is with Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh, okay. Oh, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, Billy Bob Thornton's in it. Frances McDormand's in it as well.
Of course.
So this is kind of like classic Coen Brothers. So there's always this kind of, there's always like a plot that goes a bit wrong. With like the
bit like Fargo.
These regular people that sort of get into a criminal plot, and it progressively gets worse and worse as they kind of realise it's not that easy.
Yeah.
So this is quite similar. It's shot in black and white.
Okay.
So it's very kind of classic noir look, very kind of old school. But yeah, it's really good. It's not quite as good as some of their most memorable works, but it's a kind of dark comedy, really sort of interesting thriller, and then you've obviously got a really good cast as well.
Yeah. She seems to be in quite a lot of their films, isn't she? I mean, she's married to Joel Coen, and she's she's an amazing actress anyway. But yeah, she's a regular.
She's brilliant. Yeah, and this is one of those where sometimes she's in there just for like a scene or two or like a cameo.
Yeah.
And occasionally she has the plum role. So this is kind of more of a significant role in this one than a few of the smaller roles, but. Yeah, she's brilliant. And then Billy Bob Thornton has always been really underrated, I think.
Yeah. Oh, he's a really good actor. He's amazing.
He is brilliant. Did you ever see the Fargo TV show?
I did.
Yeah.
I saw only season 1, and I have a confession to make in that I didn't see it till because I think it came out 2014 and it was on TV, and then and I think it was during the 3rd lockdown. Where I was literally tearing my hair out towards it. And I was like, I need...
Like everyone, yeah.
Yeah, I was getting...
to watch.
I just needed to be engrossed in something because I was losing my mind. And do you know what I mean? I needed to concentrate on something because I couldn't focus. So someone suggested I watch Fargo, the TV series, the first season. Yeah. And there's so many good actors in it. There's him and there's Martin Freeman, who was in The Office, the original Office UK series. Yeah. And he surprised me actually in it. But the one that really stole my attention was Billy Bob Thornton. He was just his performance.
So good in that.
Oh, he's amazing. I can't explain why, but he's just. It's a weird situation that he has between him and is it Lester? Martin Freeman's character, I can't remember.
I can't remember.
Yeah, but
Lester is William H. Macy in the film Fargo.
Yeah, I can't remember, but
it's a similar kind of character.
Yeah, they're kind of based on similar sort of situations in a way. But they have a very strange relationship, don't they? In that film.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's so, but yeah, no, he was quite terrifying in that film. But he was. I mean, he should. I don't know if he won an award for that, but he should have because he was so good in that film. But it wasn't a film. It was a. It was a TV series. But yeah, no, he was amazing. Is the man who wasn't there? Is that quite a recent one? I think it is, isn't it?
That was.
I mean, that's sort of like
I
80s or 90s.
It's recent, but it's 20 years old now.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
All right then.
Yeah, so it's quite old now, but I still think of it as quite recent.
Yeah.
So probably shows my age there, I
think. Don't worry, it shows mine as well.
Yeah.
So are they like the two main leads in it, I guess, or is she like a small part in it compared to Fargo and?
No, she's probably second lead, and then obviously Billy Bob Thornton is front and center in it.
Okay.
So he's sort of orchestrating a blackmail plot.
Okay.
And it just sort of gets progressively worse.
Turns into a bit of a car
just
crash.
Like the classic,
yeah,
the classic Coen Brothers thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, shall I do number 9?
Yeah, go on to number 9.
Okay, number 9 is True Grit.
Okay, that's another one I haven't seen, but that's with Matt Damon, isn't it?
Yeah, Matt Damon's in it, Jeff Bridges.
That's it.
So this was a remake of a John Wayne Western.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's this young girl and she's after revenge.
Okay.
So she, because her family had been killed, so she hires this aging gunman played by Jeff Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just this long kind of, it's a classic Western, so it's a big trek over all these, Western territories. And, she sort of soon realizes that he's not quite as adept at being a hitman as he used to be.
Okay.
And then they encounter Matt Damon's cowboy along the way.
Right.
And yeah, again, things start going wrong. There's lots of twists and turns.
Who does Matt Damon play in it? Is he like another hitman? I don't know. That's another one I need to see.
He's kind of, he's like a cowboy and a hitman, and he's this interesting character. You're not too sure whether he's good or whether he's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, it's a really good film.
Okay.
I think it came out. This was the one they did after No Country for Old Men.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember. I think it won an award for. I mean, the young girl was really good, and I think she was like, that was her first job.
Yeah.
I mean, she must have been about.
She's really good at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff Bridges, he might have won or got nominated for an Oscar. I'm not too sure on that one.
And he's from like acting dynasty, isn't he? Because his dad was. Is it Lloyd Bridges or was that his brother? I get confused.
Dad was Lloyd Bridges, but there was a brother called Bo Bridges.
Bo, that's it. Yeah. His dad was in Airplane.
Hot Shots, and Airplane,
Yeah.
He just had this face as well. He could just pull off deadpan really well, a bit like Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah. No, they're all amazing actors, obviously, but yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about True Grit? When did it win the Oscar? I didn't win. It won an Oscar for something. I can't remember what it was for.
It probably could have been cinematography.
Okay.
Because they generally tend to get awarded for that. I'd have to look at that, I think.
Do you want to go on to number 8, or is there anything else?
Shall I do number 8?
Yeah.
So number 8 is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh yeah. No, I love that one. Yeah. One of George Clooney.
George Clooney.
And
John Turturro.
Yeah.
I can never remember the name of the other guy.
Yeah, he's very strange looking, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what that's based on?
I don't. Do you?
Yes, I do. Hang on, I'm just going to double check my facts to make sure it's. I'm going to check. Hang on. I'm just looking at Google. Sorry, one of the dogs is barking. I'm just going to check because I don't want to get it wrong. So the Greek stories. There was the Odyssey. It's either the Odyssey or the other one. I think it's the Odyssey.
I think it might. Yeah, I think that rings a bell actually.
Yeah. By is that Homer? Yeah, by Homer.
Yeah.
So basically, because the Odyssey, I mean, it was a long time. I remember studying Greek mythology when I was in primary school, and I
Yeah,
absolutely love Greek mythology, and that was one of the books that the teacher read to us as part of that term's project. Um, and it was the Odyssey. So there's that famous scene where they come across the three women who are washing their clothes. They're basically the
yeah,
sirens. They're the mermaids in the Odyssey.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Because they're like sirens in the film, right? But
yeah. That
that
makes sense.
but the original in the Odyssey is that they're sailing the sea and they come across these three mermaids, and the mermaids are basically um they have to, I can't remember, I think they have to bound themselves to the ship because they're basically calling him to crash their boat into the rocks and kill themselves, basically. So but it's along the lines of the Odyssey, very very loosely. um
Yeah,
so I think he's like the main one, and the other two are there. I remember watching this, the making of it or something. The other two are there to make him look cleverer than he is. I mean, they're all three of them are not the
yeah.
smartest, you
No,
know,
there's a
things.
slight kind of, I guess, like Three Stooges
Yeah,
or
yeah. So they're
yeah,
basically. I remember George Clooney saying they're basically there to make him look smart, really, because they're all basically like you said, they're like three very simple men, simpletons.
yeah.
So yeah. But what was it that stood out for you about that? I mean, I love that film. That was one of my favorites by them as well.
Yeah, no, I really enjoy this one. It's just that they do some really quirky comedies.
Yeah.
They sometimes, when they're very quirky, they tend to be my least sort of favorite from the Coens, but I still enjoy them. But I don't find them as interesting as some of the more kind of intense thrillers.
Ones, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Um
but this is just really enjoyable. A sort of enjoyable road movie as they, going across country trying to outrun the law and sort of find their stashed loot.
yeah, because they escape from prison, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they
and
and
then
it's
they're after his stashed loot from the previous robbery before they got locked up.
oh, okay, yeah, I remember. And it's set during the American Depression, isn't it? So there's
Yeah,
very few jobs around and unemployment. And the funniest thing I remember about that film is how they kind of just stumble into a recording studio, and they do that song with is it
yeah,
Constant Sorrow, and it because it's just like a recording. I can't remember why they do it, and then they end up becoming like really famous without knowing it, and they're so
yeah,
there's someone, and finally they make their way back home, and I can't remember, they go into a competition, and then everyone realizes it's the Soggy Bottom Boys or something, whatever they're called, and they go absolutely nuts, and then they realize that actually they've become like the new thing in like pop music, and they're this really
yeah,
big sensation in music, and they've had no idea the whole time they've been on their adventures and stuff, trying to get their money and stuff. And he's trying to get back to his family, isn't he? Because Holly Hunter's remarried.
yeah.
And she doesn't want to have anything to do with him unless he sorts himself out. And I don't know, but yeah, no, that was the funniest thing. I love that song, but he didn't sing in that song, did he? In the end, it's
No,
someone else that was
yeah, it
doing
must have been
the
someone else
vocal.
that did it.
I think he did have singing lessons for it, but it didn't work out. And his aunt's very famous. She's Rosemary Clooney, so she's a
Yeah,
very famous singer. Um, but he
but he
said,
didn't inherit that.
yeah, that's what he said. He said he didn't inherit, and I think his parents were quite musical as well, or his dad was, or something like that. So, but yeah, I think he said something like he inherited his mum's side, where she wasn't particularly that musical in comparison to his aunt, for instance. So
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, it's funny because in a lot of their films, they tend to. I mean, they have a bit like what's his face? He did Taxi Driver. Martin Scorsese. He went through a period of using a lot of Robert De Niro, and then it
yeah,
became Leonardo DiCaprio, but they tend to, which is I guess quite common now, and also they know each other well and they're able to feed off each other. But they tend to use John Goodman a lot, don't they, in their films? He's
They do, yeah. I love John Goodman.
Yeah,
I think he's one of the best character actors around.
He's really good. And Holly Hunter.
Yeah, she's been in a few of theirs as well.
She was in.
Yeah, she's always amazing.
I've only seen her in Raising Arizona and that one. I don't know if she's done any other ones by them. Has she? Do you know?
I think I do remember seeing her probably in a smaller role, but I'll have to look up.
Yeah, yeah.
But speaking of Raising Arizona,
oh, I love
that's my number 7.
Oh, okay. So we go on to number 7 then.
Yeah.
Unless there's anything else you want to say about number 8.
No, I think so. We'll go to number 7.
Okay. Oh, I was going to say one more thing. Because we were saying that about how they tend to use a lot of the same actors. The other one they use is it John Turturro in the Big Lebowski, who plays who plays the nutter bowling guy who says don't F with the Jesus. And he does that weird dance or whatever before he does his bowling thing. And he's just really he's really strange in that. Yeah, so that's another one who sort of pops up in their films quite a lot. But that was the only thing I was going to say, really. so do you want to go on to number 7, which is...
Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
So I think you might like this one.
I love Raising Arizona. I saw it in college. I can't remember, because in college I did a 2-year BTEC Media Studies course, and because I told you before that part of the course it's split up into different modules. And one of the modules was film theory, and the other one was film practice. So in film theory, we had to learn everything about the basics and all the stuff that goes into making a film, and genres and mise en scène and all that kind of stuff that got drilled into our head. And then each term we got given an assignment, and we had to write a big essay. So I can't remember, we had to do one, and somehow Raising Arizona sneaked in. I can't remember what assignment it was for. But I just remember, I must have been about 16 or 17 when I saw it. And I just remember thinking, this is absolutely crazy and bonkers. It's like a weird cartoon. Do you know what I mean?
It is a little bit, isn't it? Yeah, it's really,
chaotic.
Again, it's crazy, but then it's got this other dark side to it as well.
Yeah.
And, with the hitman chasing them.
Oh, that big scary guy on the bike.
Kind of a thriller element to it.
Yeah. And did you know who Nicolas Cage is based on?
No, I didn't.
Did you not know? There's a scene where he has a tattoo on his arm. This might jog your memory.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It rings a bell.
Cartoon character. He goes, I can't do the laugh.
Oh, yeah. Woody Woodpecker.
Yeah, that's it. And he styled his hair like that because they wanted him to be like kind of Woody Woodpecker. Yeah. So that's why his hair's all... He had to put on a ridiculous amount of hair gel to get his hair up, and apparently it never stayed up the way they wanted to. It was quite tricky or something. But yeah, he's basically... He's meant to be like the life form of Woody Woodpecker. Because you can kind of see that they're like cartoon characters, aren't they, really? In that kind of chaotic, crazy comedy way. Yeah. It's not like there's ever been another film that's been done like that, in a kind of sort of it kind of reminds me of, what was that thing, The Roadrunner, the cartoon.
Yeah, it's definitely got elements of that. Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And what that coyote that keeps chasing it and stuff like that, it's just absolute bonkers. It never stops.
There's a lot of energy to the film as well. There's lots of these kind of dynamic camera moves, and I think it's really stylish as well.
What did you want to say about Raising Arizona then? Why was that number 7 for you?
I just I really enjoy it. It's funny, exciting, but also they've got some drama to it as well. Because you've got Holly Hunter as well, who's a really great actress.
And she's adorable
So,
in it. I think she's really
yeah.
sweet in that film.
And I know it's sort of broad comedy and they're kind of overplaying it slightly, but they still make it kind of touching as well. The whole kind of aspect of being unable to have their own children and then going to these sort of desperate measures. But again, great cast in it.
Yeah, because
Nick Cage was really good.
Yeah, because she because like I said, that she can't have children, can she? So, and then at the same time, they hear about this kind of like this millionaire car salesman who him and his wife have just had like, is it quintuplets or sextuplets? Quintuplets with like 5 babies.
Yeah, they can spare one.
Yeah, exactly. And so they kidnap one. I mean, obviously not with bad intention, just because she's so heartbroken, and he's trying. And the thing I loved about that was when it started, because he's a criminal, isn't she? And she's like, turn to the right, and he goes, what kind of name is Edwina? Ed, and he goes, it's short for Edwina. This guy. And then he goes back in for the second time, and it's her again, and she's crying. And he goes, what's wrong, Ed? And she goes, my fiancé dumped me or left me or whatever. And he says, you tell him that I'm going to like all this kind of stuff. And while he's shouting that all out, there's another prisoner she's taking photos of. And he goes, hi, Kurt. And the guy waves back. And he waves back at him. But yeah, no, it's really funny. What else did you want to say about? Was there anything you wanted to say about the John Goodman and his friend that breaks out of prison? But
yeah, they were a good pair. So I think the other one was William Forsythe.
Oh, his kind of side man, the John Goodman. Yeah.
So they're definitely a couple of like Looney Tunes characters, aren't they?
Yeah.
You can imagine. Do you remember there was the big bulldog and it had a little dog by the side of it that used to be quite yappy? It's like a pair of dogs that used to go around terrorizing probably one of the cats, Sylvester the cat.
Oh, yeah. Do you think they're like that?
They're similar. I don't know whether they're directly influenced by that, but they do seem a little bit Looney Tunes, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And the bit where they break out of prison, because I remember this bit we had to analyse. Oh, that was it. We analysed a couple of scenes. It was the one where they break out of prison, and it's basically at night time, and they come out of the ground. And the way our teacher basically explained it was like, actually they're basically like they're basically sort of like Satan or the devil coming out from the underground, basically, because he pulls his friend out from the mud, doesn't he? I can't remember if they walk through a sewage system a bit like Shawshank Redemption.
I think they did, didn't they?
Yeah. But the way they come up the ground is like, they're like monsters that coming up going, yeah,
it's like a zombie film.
I know. But yeah. So is there anything you wanted to say? I mean, I'm sure you have a lot to say about that film.
I probably do, yeah, but I think I'll move on to number 6.
Okay. Oh, there's one more thing I was going to say about that. The babies. Do you think they were random babies, or they really were quintuplets? Because do you know what I mean? Or they must have done something like like they split them or tried to make them look similar.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, they did look alike, but I don't think they would have been
actual quintuplets. Yeah.
Maybe like a couple of pairs of twins, maybe.
Yeah.
And then another rogue baby.
Yeah. And just put like a blonde wig on them or something. Yeah. I do like when they when the father of one of the kidnapped babies, afterwards he puts up a ransom and he goes 2 a.m. and then he tries to sell his business again. You come down to the car sales and I'll give you a good deal. But yeah, no, it's a great film. It's really good fun. I mean, there's just so much energy about it and so much that goes on. It's like you can't really sit still with it. Does that make sense? Because there's so much going on. You have to follow all these different stuff.
It is very fast paced, but it's quite a short film, and it just sort of it breezes by.
Yeah,
it's really easy to watch.
There's a really funny scene when I can't remember when she's in a car with him, with the baby, And he goes, hang on, I'm just going to get some diapers. And then he puts that thing over his head, doesn't he? Like a sock on tights over his head. And he sticks up a gun and she's reading to the baby. And then she sees him basically sticking up the gun to the gun. And she's like, you son of a bitch! Oh, yeah, it's such a good film. I'm going to watch it again.
I think I will do as well.
Yeah, we need to watch again. All right, is there anything else you want to say about it, or do you want to go on to number 6?
No, I'll do number 6.
Okay,
so number 6, I've got Miller's Crossing.
Okay, I haven't heard of that one.
So this one, I think this was the one they did after Raising Arizona.
Okay.
So this is like a really old school gangster film.
Oh, I forgot to say something about Raising Arizona. One more thing. There's a very short cameo with Frances McDormand.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Isn't she? She's the wife of that bonkers guy that he works with.
Yeah.
Who wants to have like a threesome or swap partners. And he ends up beating him up, and he's got all those children that are basically causing mayhem.
Really horrible children.
But like was bashing his car and throwing food all over the place. Yeah, she's in that very, very briefly. She goes, where's that baby? Let me see that baby. So that's what I was going to say. So sorry about that. So let's crack on to your number 6.